I pledge my life and honor to the Night's Watch. For this night, and all the nights to come.
Vela, Mogolis, everybody. Hypes Watch back again for another episode of Game of Thrones. This one, Season 8, Episode 4, The Last of the Starks. And as promised, we are here for the hate. This is Hate Watch number 1. As you could tell by the thumbnail, if you were checking out the thumbnail before you watched this. Fantastic Four plus one more is back. We have Anne with us again. We have ladies' man Sir L.T. Giles. We have my man JB. And apparently the corporation has left the building. Jerry the Target.
Oh no, we're all against the corporation here. This is Sturgier of House Hit.
Yeah, Sturgier of House Hit. Where to begin? I finally took notes this time around, so I guess let's just begin at the beginning. So, and hold on real quick. Shout out to Jake Cruz in the chat. Probably the only one in here because no one wants to hear all the hate we're about to do right now.
No, hi to all of the 9 people watching. So it's 4 of us plus 5 people. So hi to the not 5 people watching.
All right. So yeah, let's begin where it begins at the funeral. The funeral. So we got this nice massive funeral scene. Everybody gets to say their goodbyes to all of their fallen people. We see Jorah, Ed, Lyanna Mormont, Theon. I don't even remember who the hell else. It's not like they really fucking mattered, right?
Beric.
So Jon comes out. He gives a rousing speech about the debt that can never be repaid. Yada yada yada. We see everybody light the pyres, and then immediately, for some reason, Sansa's out there hating Daenerys because she just has to hate Daenerys because Daenerys is Daenerys.
Because Daenerys is a spoiled little brat. That's why she hates Daenerys.
I mean, if that's what you want.
How about that Jon speech though? Let's talk about how Jon talks about all the many lives that are lost and we have to respect them.
Oh, can we start about
when the show didn't even respect them?
Okay, no. Can I start with something positive? Because shocking thing, I did not 100% hate that episode.
Really?
Okay, we've posted them on. Yeah, I did not 100%. My reaction was, okay, you guys all know that I quit that show for a long, long time. And so every time I watch an episode, I was like, I really want to gouge my eyes out. And I am not, okay, let's be clear. I am not saying that's a good show. I am not saying that's a good episode. But that is my favorite episode, the one I hated the least in a really long time. So, yeah, I was a little moved by Sansa crying over Theon. So that was a nice moment. And okay, because I kind of liked the first half of that episode. I kind of liked the first half of that episode. I think it had some nice moments. And I think that was a nice moment. And I think that it is nice that they also just, took a little moment to go back to Dany crying on Jorah, because everything that's kind of following kind of harkens back to that. He's like fuck, she lost. Yeah, I mean, it's like he betrayed her and shit, and it was complicated, but she lost her only friend. Her only true friend was Jorah. She's all alone in that world. And like, there's that realization moment, like she only had him, and it's kind of nice that it's the opening scene.
I mean, I actually kind of agree. I mean, I didn't. For me, the stuff that I didn't like in this episode happens later, and maybe it's nitpicky stuff for me. We'll discuss it when we get there. And you guys in the chat you can tell me if I'm nitpicking or not. But
let's nitpick.
With this beginning scene, I just found it funny. Like, it was moving and everything. I liked most of the characters that are involved. But I found it funny that Jon was left over. Essentially, it was like everyone had their person. They each had their individual that meant something to them, and then it was like, well, Lyanna Mormont's got to have somebody. So, King of the North, go ahead and you take Lyanna Mormont. But I mean, I didn't hate the scene. It was fine. It was a fine way to start the episode.
LT?
This scene was fine. I felt like they either did a good job with the bodies or they were dummies because they actually really looked dead. Maybe it was the actors, but to me they looked really good as far as dead. So I don't know if it was whatever. I like how Sansa placed the little start pin or whatever to Theon. I never saw that start pin, and I was thinking for a moment, was Theon going to be her hand if she was queen? I don't know, but that was okay.
What was interesting to me, what I was thinking about was, I mean, with the Night King threat over, do you guys feel like they should have burned the bodies, or they should have had like actual burials?
Well, the thing is, that was exactly the question I asked, but technically it's still winter, so the ground is frozen, so they can't bury them. Because they can't put them in the crypts, because they're not. Right. I think it's still show
they could thaw. Well, they could thaw the ground if they just use some dragon fire.
Yeah, because never mind. I was gonna say after the wall, they probably buried some people. The battle at the wall, but we saw them burn Ygritte, so I don't know.
I thought the custom is to burn everyone except for like the crypt people.
No, they have a leech yard. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know what is show canon when it's they have a graveyard in Winterfell.
Yeah, I mean, it was beyond the wall. It's custom to have the bodies burned, but not below the wall.
Well, also River Run. Shooting
Well, yeah, that's probably more of just like a noble person has that custom where they go down the river or get put on fire. But
dude,
anyway.
That's how I want to go out. I want somebody to put me on a river and shoot an arrow, and that's how I want to.
I mean, it is what it is.
But yeah, that back to the show.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I didn't hate this part, but it was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I didn't understand the whole thing of Sansa deciding to, hate on Dany at a fucking funeral.
Yeah, it's
like
I roll
a hater. You hate at any chance you get. Funeral hate, wedding hate.
I see where you're coming from, Willie, but after the rest of this episode, I want anybody to hate on Dany at all times because, like I said, she's a spoiled little brat.
Oh, we're gonna get the Daffy Duck. We're gonna get the Daffy Duck, and that's the name I'm calling her for the rest of this damn series, man. Just mine, no, mine. Like, yo, come on, man, stop. Can you please stop that? All right. So next up, we get feast. Everybody's feasting in Winterfell. Don't forget to tip your server at Starbucks. Your barista. I know everybody's heard about the damn Starbucks mug by now.
Dude, it's the best coffee in Westeros. Getting some Starbucks. I got some right here.
Yeah,
just the right temperature.
Yeah, so Gendry is looking for Arya. He has a nice little back and forth with the Hound. The Hound is like, yeah, the battle's over. You want to go get you some? He's like, nah, man. I just wanna find my girl and profess my love to her. He's like, yeah, you want to profess your love for 3 minutes, don't you?
Do we just talk about the whole Gendry thing from beginning to?
I mean, all right. So, what, you just want to get Gendry out of the way?
Yeah, everything Gendry. right out of the way.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to find Arya. Daffy, recognizes him, calls him up, and is like, "Hey, yeah, you're Robert Baratheon's son, right? Yeah, you know, your father killed my brother and tried to destroy my family. He tried to kill me. You know that, right? Hmm? You're aware of this, right? Like, Your Grace, you're not gonna have all these people kill me, right? Like, nah, you know what? I need a new Lord of Storm's End. So yeah, you're now Gendry Baratheon, and everybody cheers him, and it's like, yeah, yeah. Daffy's like, see, I can be generous, you know. Um, and then he goes to and actually meets up with Arya. He's like, hey, I've been made a lord, and you can be my lady. And why are you just back here shooting arrows instead of celebrating? He's like, cause I got better shit to do. You weren't that great in bed, so you know. But when did Rivers become the name of a bastard from King's Landing?
It is.
It's always been.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Aegon Rivers is Peter Steele's name, right?
No.
Yeah.
Look, he got that name because he was from the Riverlands.
Or is it Waters?
Waters is the name
Oh yeah, Oren Waters.
bastards from
Oh my god, I need to read those
from
books
King's
so
Landing.
badly.
And since Gendry wasn't a recognized bastard, he wasn't supposed to have a last name anyway. You only get a last name if you're a recognized, recognized by the actual king.
Well, the show forgot, so let's forget about it.
Okay, yeah. Thoughts on Gendry? Jerry, we're gonna start with you.
Well, first of all, what is with this Dan and Dave has just gotten out of hand with trying to subvert every single expectation they could find. Now they're stealing things from popular stuff like Star Wars. You know, they got the whole Lando thing where they pretend that they're real mad at you, like, you dirty rotten scoundrel. I can't believe you father tried to kill your father killed my father. Never mind, we're best buds. Ha ha. Come on. Well, enough with that. Enough with that nonsense. So, I don't know how a blacksmith is supposed to be in charge of, or blacksmith's apprentice is supposed to be in charge of Storm's End, but maybe he has a good maybe he has a better hopefully he has a better policy than Aragon from Lord of the Rings. We'll see. Better tax policy.
Hopefully. All right. And your thoughts on Gendry Rivers, formerly Gendry Rivers.
Yeah. So first, I'm sorry. I really need to reread those books because I'm like, oh my god, that shocking lack of knowledge. But okay. So first thought, it was like, is that castle that small that everyone heard them fuck? That was my first thought. Because I don't really think Gendry went around, being like, yeah, I had sex with Arya last night. So I'm like, oh yeah, Winterfell, like the smallest castle in the universe. But okay, that aside,
you might have. I mean, he was pretty excitable.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. My thought. What I liked about the scene. Oh yeah. Let me bring positivity for the first 5 minutes of that recap because that's not gonna last for very long. Okay. Again, because I liked the first half of that episode. I thought some things made sense, and that's rare. So okay, I could see where Danny was coming from. It's like, okay, I just lost the only one person that I could truly count on to be there to actually like look out for me and protect me, that I could really rely on. Like, fuck, now he's dead. Okay, I'm there, and I actually I'm in that feast, and wow, maybe I have the better claim. Oh no, I don't. Maybe I have the dragons, but they don't only like they. I'm not the only one to have control over them, and they can die, and none of those people. I mean, almost none. The majority of those people don't actually follow me. Oh, I need to regain control of the situation. Like you can see that she's like feeling overwhelmed and like needs to like regain a sense of power. And she's like, okay, what can I do? Okay, well, I need to make lords. She's like, she's been telling herself, I'm the queen of Westeros. I'm the queen of Westeros by right. I'm the queen of Westeros by right. And she's like, wow. I need to show them. I need to do something now because now we're moving to the political phase. Okay, let's make new lords. And so she does that, and it was funny because she does that, and you can see by Gendry's reaction how like it did not go as she intended. Like she does that, and Gendry doesn't kneel and looks like really like what the fuck is going on? What's happening? And he's like, Davos was, is the one who's like, yeah, that's good. That's a good thing. Let's clap. Let's cheer. Let's clap. Like let's keep that, because that was like, there was a really awkward silence moment where like, like she's you can see her like actually like trying to take hold of the situation, and it's not taking, like the sauce is not taking, and you can see that from there, like you can already see that she's gonna fall from that point on, that she's losing the political foot. So for once I thought they were subtle and giving us subtle hints, and that it wasn't bad. That's the last nice thing I'm gonna say. So yeah, let's move on.
For me, I didn't hate the scene. I don't think it's super far fetched. Yeah, maybe that it's some fan service here and there. I don't think it's super far. I mean, it probably my first. Maybe I could see Gendry getting Storm's End. I could see Gendry trying to maybe get with Arya if they. If serendipity happens and they are in the same place at the same time and all this stuff happens, like I don't think it's crazy to think that it could be real or that this could happen. I wish Gendry would have done something heroic. Like they would have showed him doing something like super heroic in the last episode to like, be like, oh, he is, worthy of this. Because as far as I remember, I don't even remember him even barely even being in the last episode doing anything at all. So I wish he would have done something heroic. Like maybe he would have saved Dany's life, and that could have made more sense there. But I mean, I get it. I think it makes sense politically for her to do that. I think it was a smart move on our part. In terms of the Gendry striking out with Arya scene, I mean, I played out how I thought it would play out if he would do that. So, I mean, it was pretty telegraphed. I saw it coming a mile away as soon as he was starting to go into his soliloquy of proposing and all that. I knew that Arya was going to reject him because that's the way Arya's a different person. I mean, she's not a normal lady. So that went about as how I expected. So, but I didn't. This is, like I said, this isn't the stuff that irked me. That's a little later.
LT.
Yeah, basically, good scene, whatever. I guess, yeah, Gendry could get Storm's End. I mean, we've never seen Storm's End in the show. Barely saw it in the books, so why does it matter who gets Storm's End? I don't care. Gendry's a good character. He's been in the show since season 1, and if you are a monarch, when you take over Westeros, there's going to be a lot of different houses that are going to lose their lands and titles, so you might as well give lands and titles to whoever you can, because they're going to need somewhere to stay when you take over Westeros. What else? Oh, the Arya Gendry thing, come on, we knew she wasn't going to be the lady. But you know what? What do you got left to do, Arya, in this show? Kill Cersei? Okay, after you kill Cersei, what do you got left to do after that? You're going to go back to Bravos? No. So then you could go and be the Lady of Storm's End after that, because you got nothing left to do.
LT, we all know that Gendry screwed up this whole thing when he came out like a stage 5 clinger and just was out of control. I want to hear if you were Gendry, what would the ladies' man, LT Giles, how would he approach this? Not as I know you wouldn't do that stage 5 clinger. How would you make Arya your lady?
I wouldn't. There's plenty of beautiful in Westeros. I'd be sad, like
No. I'm saying, how would you approach it? Because I know you would close. I don't even need to hear about the rest of the women in Westeros.
I would give it some time. I would just tell her I was Lord of Storm's End. I wouldn't tell her to be my lady right away. I'd give some time. There's still stuff to do.
Exactly.
I'd wait till the end to do it. Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, regardless, Arya. That's not who Arya is. I mean, she'll figure out something to do. She doesn't need to be the Lady of Storm's End. She'll figure something out.
True indeed. All right, so let's see. Next up, we get the drinking game. No, sorry, not the drinking game. What is this? Jaime and shit. I just wrote down kind of like random stuff. So you know what?
I want to give a little bit of credit, but then they kind of blow it later. Credit to actually someone mentioning, Tyrion actually mentioning that Bran is the heir of Winterfell. Like, not this. I mean, yeah, they go back to this bullshit John's King of the North stuff, but really, we know that Bran is he should be like the one given first refusal. But
he should be, but I mean, listen.
We know they don't fall. It's like Preston Jacobs with the shade of the lamp. They mention it, but they don't follow up with sense. So
true indeed. I mean, look. At the end of the day, Bran is no longer Bran. He's three-eyed Raven, whatever the hell that is even supposed to mean. At this point, I don't even know that it means anything after the Night King being dead. Honestly,
well, what did it mean? What did it mean when he said, "I'm living in the past"?
Well,
no, he just keeps on seeing all of. He keeps on tapping into the Weirwood network and seeing all of the past events.
Are we there yet? Are we discussing that part yet? Because I got thoughts.
No, you know what? Since we're already on Bran, let's just talk about him and get him the hell out of the way. Because that was literally the only thing he did this entire episode was that little interaction that he had with Tyrion. He did nothing else.
Then we had the little interaction with Sansa and Jon and all them.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, he had so few lines that I damn near forgot about that. You know, with the thing that the gods would. Listen, you know what? But yeah, thoughts on the Bran Tyrion thing, so we can just get that out of the way.
Go ahead, Ann. Yeah, go ahead, Ann.
No, I mean, I'm trying to. I had written notes from. I can't find my notes. It's like I got notes, but then I got no more notes. Anyway, it's like. They totally fucked up my baby boy. It's like brought my baby boy. It's like they obviously did not know what to do with him. But the whole thing, you know, it's like, well, you guys talked, you know, did an amazing video about Bran, the time traveler, which again I mean, like, you talked mostly about the books, and that was before they did that in the show. And then the show did the Hold the Door, so it's also show canon that Bran kind of time travels. But his whole thing is that it's not really that he time travels, but there's no past or future or present. It's all one thing for Bran.
Wait, he's a Kitsap cataract now.
Yeah, exactly. So he can't really be acting Lord because none of them matter of man, because there's no such thing as present or future for him. Like, he can't really worry about the matter of man the way a lord should be. Like, his empathy is being kind of stripped away from his empathy because he doesn't feel time the way mortal humans. Although he's still mortal, he's been stripped of his sense of time because he doesn't feel it the same way. But there was a really cool line they had a few episodes ago, which I thought was really going to pay off in the big battle for the Dawn, and it totally didn't. And so, yeah, he lives in the past, but he also lives in the future. He just lives outside of time. So that's, I think, what he means. He's in that perpetual space beyond time, so he can't rule because he can't really empathize with what humans go through anymore.
I mean, yeah, basically, he's essentially would, like, if it was me, I'd be shirking my responsibilities too, because I'd be fucking, I'd be seeing what's going on in ancient Egypt. I'd be, going to the height of the Roman Empire, So it's like, if you can go back into the past and see what's going on, I mean, you're probably going to shirk some of your responsibilities and not be normal. So he's just kind of just like saying, fuck it, I want to do what I want to do.
Well, yeah, that, or it's just like, sorry.
No, go ahead, because mine was moved side off.
Well, no, it's just, or like it's the image of the Buddha. Like, it's like once you reach enlightenment, it's the idea that that's the whole thing of Buddhism, is that you rid yourself of suffering because you understand that you're not really oneself and that nothing really happens to you. It's like you cannot change your perspective on time, and you realize that what is self is not really anyway. They were not here to discuss Buddhist philosophy, but it's just because you go through that. It's like Bran, because of what happened to him, kind of went through that whole Buddhist enlightenment shit. So you can't rule people because you can't understand people anymore. And it wouldn't be fair to rule people and their affects knowing that you can't feel them. It's not even, I think it's not a selfish thing that he does not wanting to rule. I think it's a very selfless thing that he does. He's not like, I want to enjoy like visiting the pyramids. It's just like, I know I wouldn't be a good ruler because I wouldn't be able to really empathize with humans because I'm
young. I wasn't saying that Bran was doing that. I'm saying that's what I would do if I was in that situation. Okay. I wasn't saying him. Yeah, I get it from his perspective. He's shedding the normal the trappings of normal men. So, but we're gonna say, Jerry.
Oh, I was gonna say, could anyone tell me who this crippled nephew of Darren is? Like, I have no idea. Maybe he's related to the new Prince of Dorne. I don't know.
The new Prince of Dorne. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, I got thoughts on that too. Oh my god. That made me mad. That made me so mad.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that when we get to the war room scene. LT, your thoughts on...
It just makes me cringe so much because Bloodraven doesn't act like a fucking robot and Bran acts like a robot. Fuck it. I don't care about this shit. Let's go to the next scene.
Bran 9000. Yeah. Which is weird because he says he's not Bran anymore, but technically shouldn't Bran be within, like, even if he has all these other personalities in him, he should still have Bran there too.
Why is he getting involved in affairs of the Starks then if he's fucking Bran 9000 and he's not Bran anymore? Fucking liar.
I don't know.
It is what it is. But all right, so
he's gotta skin change into some ravens and take a look at the Night King now too. Important mission there.
Did you just call Bran a liar, LT?
Yes, he's a liar.
What?
Big time liar.
No, he's not. Okay. Let's have that show review and then discuss that.
He's talking about show Bran is a liar.
When is show Bran a liar?
Because he says he's not Bran anymore, but he's getting involved in Stark affairs, and he's... I don't know, man.
Tell me. I'm listening to your arguments.
I already said he's getting involved in his family's affairs, and he says he's not Bran Stark anymore, but he's the Three-Eyed Raven.
I mean, I guess what LT is trying to say is like, look, either you're in doing the Stark thing, or you're not doing the Stark thing. You can't, hop back and forth with where your responsibilities lie. I guess. Pretty much.
It could be just of the realm person now, like Varys.
Yeah, why didn't he just stay in the tree? Why didn't he just? Oh, never mind. He couldn't because the Night King killed. But I mean, yeah, go back to the tree. Why you stay in Winterfell if you're not Bran Stark anymore?
Well, he does just kind of hang at the tree at Winterfell. So.
No, I mean, I'm just so disappointed with this show, guys. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's okay. Let channel that rage. Well, I mean, again, we're
give in to your hate.
We shouldn't be harping on the same point for too long because we got a lot of episodes to get through.
We got a lot of bullshit to still cover.
Right. So, next up we have Tyrion and Davos talking about basically what's to come next, which is them still having to fight Cersei. It was like, hey, yeah, we thought this battle with the army of the dead was gonna be something, as did everybody. And turns out, not really that big of a thing. It's more us having to deal with Cersei and her nonsense. It's gonna be the true test of whether or not we are going to survive any longer. Which, hey, it is what it is, right? We're whatever. You know what? To hell with that. Fuck them in their conversation.
I love how a friend of ours, Quinn, calls it the short night and not the long night because it was a short night, not the long night.
Oh, I've heard so many of those. The short night, the not so long night, the medium night.
Yeah, whatevs. All right, so let's get to the drinking game. So we have Tyrion's famous drinking game. Everyone must drink whenever you say a lie, and then Brienne gets embarrassed by this whole thing, decides she wants to take off because it's the big secret is out. Brienne is still a virgin. Like, really?
How was that a secret?
That. So it's so embarrassing that she has never been bedded, and she is still a maiden.
I mean, technically, she's supposed to be if she's a noble.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and wasn't she super proud of that? I
don't know. Listen, she's the one that got pissed off by it. She's the one that got upset by that whole thing and decided to storm off.
Did y'all notice that Pod takes a drink when the virgin thing comes up? So
yeah, because he was trying to be nice.
Maybe because he's her squire, he felt he had to support her, so that's why he had to drink.
Maybe. Tormund tries to get in there and gets cock blocked by Jaime, and it's like, nah, man. If anybody is going to be deflowering this maiden, it's going to be me. And
can we mention that
one of the most fringiest things when he actually does, like right before he's about to sleep with her, it's like, I've never slept with a knight before, and I'm just like, what? What? Where the hell did that even come from? I've never slept with a knight before. Okay. All right.
I think everyone needs to go to the school of LT ladies, man.
I think that Bran's father is still alive, so he needs to come at Jaime for vengeance because you dishonored his daughter.
I guess. Any more thoughts on the drinking game and Brienne and Jaime?
The drinking game was hilarious. Tormund is always a highlight of any episode he's in. The way he was drinking and the scene where he was crying was hilarious, and then he just forgets about it with another woman. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Tormund's always a good time in an episode.
I just want to get everyone's thoughts on, is this a clue for the books? Because this could easily be fan service because we know they like Gwendolyn Christie and they like, the actors.
Is a clue for the
but this is all, it's not entirely implausible that this could happen in the books. So what do y'all think?
I think it's fan. Honestly, okay, that was the most cringe-worthy scene ever. Was I all like, yeah, I don't think it will happen in the book. I was happy it happened on show because that's unrealistic. Brienne has half of her face torn off. So it actually would make more sense in the book because that would align with Jaime's character arc in the book in the way that would make a lot more sense than it does in the show, where actually Jaime has no character arc in the show at all. Right?
Well, we'll talk about that actually.
Yeah, well, because that's like, oh yeah, Cersei. I show up at Winterfell. There's a battle. I show up at Winterfell. I drank with Brienne once. I want to knight her. I want to fuck her. That's right. Because I missed some episodes. Is there something I missed?
No, that was about the gist of it.
Okay. So, but makes no sense. But here, it's purely me as a book fan. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I assume Nicolaj does not have a good ass because they love ass shots, and we did not get an ass shot. It was like cut. That scene was cut way prematurely. It was like I wanted more. I was a little disappointed, but it's just in the show, in the books, it makes character sense, narrative sense, but I don't see how they could. It's like they're. Brienne's gonna kick the bucket.
Well, it could happen after this whole Stoneheart business in the book. Potentially.
Yeah, because I think she's gonna sacrifice.
How is there an after Stoneheart?
We'll have to see how it plays out. I think that. I don't think it's far fetched. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I don't think it's like far fetched.
You think Brienne could survive Stoneheart? I don't think we have more Brienne.
I don't know. She could. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think that it's super far fetched that this could happen. Like I said, I would put my money on it, but I don't think it's far fetched.
Maybe we have said the word. I think is as far as we'll go in the books. Jaime saying something loving to her as she's dying in the arms is as far as we go in the book. Again, it's like I should really stop predictions because I'm really bad at them, but I don't think that we could, have the conditions gathered. Mentally, yes. Condition wise, she's on the cusp of dying.
Well, speaking of dying, did anyone notice that that Tormund finally announces to everyone that Jon died? Because this hasn't been mentioned in a long time. It wasn't even mentioned very much when he came back to life that he had died.
That was actually a good part of the episode. Because it showed Dany that his men actually really love him, and for a reason. He came back from death. That instilled, that instilled awe in Jon to the people that they revel him. So I actually like that part. I actually like this most part. I actually like most of this feast in general. This was to me the best part of the episode probably. I think some of it could have been cut for some of the things I'm going to talk about where I wish they would have dedicated more time to, but yeah, I enjoyed. I'm just covering the feast in general. The feast in general was good. The Brienne scene, I didn't hate it. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts in general of the.
One thing that bugs me about it though is that there's never any follow up. He mentions it and everyone's just like, "Oh yeah, he was cool." No one ever asks him hey hey man, what was it like being dead? You know, no one ever asks anything. Like in the books, you know, like it's such a weird thing that even like Lem Lemoncloak can't like comprehend that Beric is coming back from the den. He just like, oh yeah, that Beric, they almost got him, but he slipped out. Like, but here everyone's just like, oh yeah, that's routine. People come back from the dead all the time around here. So, whatever.
I had bigger gripes.
I'm imagining after the whole thing with the White Walkers and everybody who's at Winterfell seeing people come back from the dead, I think at this point it's just kind of like, okay, I mean that's a thing that happens. You know, you get some people who come back from the dead. And I'm pretty sure enough of them know about Beric Dondarrion at that point, you know, that he kept on getting brought back. So it's not a thing anymore. They realize magic is actually a thing that happens. So, you know.
I was just happy it got mentioned at all. So.
All right, but this kind of leads to the whole thing of Daffy, you know, getting her first Mad Queen face on. She sees people are hyping up Jon, and even though Jon is being very nonchalant about the whole thing and trying to keep a low profile about it, she's looking around and just like, how dare you? How dare you? You know, I mean that's
she's
what
like
her
that
eyes
angry
saying.
girlfriend who she sees her man having too much fun without her, and she's like, oh, fuck this. Man.
It also reminded me of a scene in The Sopranos when Tony's looking around and his men are all laughing because she looked at Tyrion and she looked at Jaime and them, and it looked like like they were scheming. It kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, but you know, she storms off, and Varys is looking at her because he's like, "Oh,
he did the bow again." There was a time where him and Tyrion were talking, and Tyrion needed his help or something, and for some reason, it wasn't a full bow, but it was kind of like this bow he does. I don't know why he does it.
I don't know, but you know, Varys has seen that look before. He's seen that look, you know, maybe about 20 years ago with the Mad King.
So, you've probably seen it on more than 10 occasions.
Right. So,
I mean, he'd see that look if he just watched all the fans watching this show.
Pretty much, but oh man, any thoughts on Daffy making the Mad Queen face during the celebration?
It was just frustrating me that no one seems to think about marriage, at least at this point. And we finally get someone to say something later, but I mean the simple solution is just marriage, and no one seems to think it. And
I don't know. It was so frustrating.
I mean, but remember, Davos had talked about that before, though. Davos said,
they hinted at it.
Like, and he because Davos basically tells Tyrion, you should tell these two for them to get married, so this way everything will be cool. The North wouldn't have any problems. We'd have a king and
no. Davos didn't say that. I thought Davos just said that she needs to wed, and they're like, well, who could possibly wed her?
Well, no, remember before the battle, episode 2, he was saying that Dany. Nah, he was saying I don't know why I keep on saying Dany, but he was saying that Daffy and Jon should get married, you know, and everything would be cool for them. That was before obviously everybody knew everything, and Davos still doesn't know.
He'll know soon.
Yeah, he'll know sooner or later. He'll find out right before he goes back to his keep to go finally say hello to his wife after all these years. All right, but yeah, I mean that was kind of. I mean, I kind of called this years ago. You know, I remember saying that Dany was going to be a Mad Queen years ago, and a lot of people were like, oh no, just because she burned a random dude that was a noble in Essos, it doesn't automatically mean she's going to be Mad Queen. I'm like, all right, you keep on thinking that if you want it, you know, and now it's starting to come to fruition. All right, so we get a scene with Sansa and the Hound.
Well, before that, should we talk about how the Hound nearly barked that poor girl's head off? He's like, "Yeah, I want to get with you." He's like, "Get off me!"
I mean, you know what? Look, if for whatever reason the Hound is not interested in women, he doesn't seem to be interested in anybody. He's one of the few asexual characters. Before this, it seemed like Brienne and Arya were also asexual characters, but I think we can confirm the only currently 100% asexual character right now is the Hound.
Well, I just think he's a nihilist, pretty much. I mean, the Hound is pretty much a nihilist.
I mean, well, yeah, you can be a nihilist. It doesn't mean that you're not attracted to another human being just because you're a nihilist.
Well, I imagine there's psychological scars to go with the physical ones.
Did y'all notice where the girl that tried to get with him, where she went to?
She went Tormund.
The one that Tormund got a girl, and then another girl tried to get with Sandor, and then after Sandor, was like, she went and
with Pod.
Went and found Pod, and then Pod had two girls on his like a girl on each arm, and he walked away.
Well, it's because he sang Jenny Goldstone's song so well.
And Sansa says he could have made you happy for a little while, or she could have made you happy for a little while.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Sansa scene.
Oh, come on, man. Nah, look that. If we keep man, let's not do that, because it's just gonna wind up frustrating all of us. So we should not do the thing where we start going off into book stuff that never will pay off in the show. So let's not do that.
Well, I mean, I think it was good that they actually had them talk. Just in general, just because they should have to begin with. As soon as the Hound got to Winterfell, they should have at least had some interaction. So it was just good for me just to see interaction. I mean, I didn't.
She actually mentions that she could have avoided the stuff if she would have just went with them.
No, I mean, why? It was amazing that in interaction, and okay, they want to show that the Hound is broken and bitter. Oh, okay, I got lots of feels. They're gonna come. That was the first scene that really infuriated me, because I was all like, okay, you guys seem to be like really harping on like Daffy, Mad Queen, like not. I don't know. I thought that her turning into Mad Queen was not done that poorly that episode. I don't know. Like, you guys seem to be really angry at that, and
feels forced.
I mean, like, again, like crazy pacing problems, which are like, it's like I want to recut all those like episodes. Like, you could have so combined like episode 1 and 2, and maybe prolong episode 3 a little bit into episode 4. I'm all for re-editing all of that bullshit, but it's like I'm not as mad as you guys about how they're turning Daffy into Mad Queen, but that is like, why did you send him to the Quiet Isle, big quotes, to, like, why did you throw that in to not even have the broken man speech, which is, do that executed properly. But anyway, to still have him, like, they had that interaction, which was kind of something important, pivotal, because that their relationship was kind of something really important for the both of them, and not that be so motherfucking uselessly like violent, like is that just me? I can take a lot and not be shocked. And I was not even that shocked. I was not that shocked by what we saw on screen of Ramsay doing to Sansa. I mean, it was bad that it shows to that to Sansa. It made really no sense in the show, but it was like, that's Ramsay Bolton. it's not gonna really act any other way. That was so unnecessarily awfully violent. The words that he chose to use, like I wanted to throw something at the TV. For real. Like for real.
I think one of the highlights of this episode of me is the hound barking at the girl, because I'm still like kind of laughing about that.
Oh yeah, that was funny. The hound barking at the girl was funny. You know, I agree. But like broken in? Seriously? Like seriously?
I mean, look, that's the Hound. That's how Sandor talks. I mean, look, I'm not saying that it's right,
well,
but that is the
come
Hound.
on. That's how Sandor, at that point of his character arc, past, again, because quiet Isle, Sandor, you know, he's supposed to have an arc. Huh?
He's regressed. I mean, like, that's the problem with the show with many characters. So many of them are regressing to earlier seasons just for no
good reason. That was
no good reason.
Like, just unnecessarily violent. I mean, it's like those words were extremely violent. Extremely violent. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's basically the Hound from season 2.
That, and again, it's like it's not really, because you can see his interaction with Arya. You know, like the interaction he has with Arya, like compare the interaction he has with Arya. So Sandor now with Arya, and now, you know, they're like picking at each other a little bit, you know, and like just that talk with her, and like I was expecting,
I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, take it from me, because otherwise I'm just gonna start yelling at my webcam.
Well, I mean, yes, I did have a problem similar with Aang, where, you know, but I have a problem with that with so many characters. They've just taken them back. It's like, well, we know they haven't read Feast of Crows or Dance of Dragons, so they don't. All they know is these characters early, and that's what they do. And they don't know. They're not good enough writers to really evolve them on their own, at least in a good way. I mean, we'll see what they're doing to Sansa, and it's just nonsense. And one thing that really bugged me about this whole thing is, they did acknowledge it. Yes, they did. They acknowledge that they have them together. Yes, they acknowledge that things could have been different with Sansa. The thing that really fell apart for me is when she comes with that stupid retort. It's like, oh, I wouldn't have grown if things wouldn't have happened. Okay, well, those things aren't happening in the books. She's grown a hell of a lot more there than she is in this fucking show. So that's a stupid-ass thing to say.
Trondy.
That's all.
James.
Dumbass retort.
I don't really have much to add.
LT?
Me either.
All right. Well, look, we've already talked about Jaime
I think we covered all of it.
And their whole cringe-worthy love scene. I never slept with a knight before. Oh god. All right. Let's talk about Daffy and Jon. You know, Johnny boy is just a little drunk. Daffy wants to get it on, but first she wants to remind him that, hey, you know, you bent the knee and you can't tell anybody because mine. You know, and stupid ass Jon, because, you know, even though he's not Ned Stark's son, he's still Ned Stark's son. He's like, but I have to tell my sisters. I can't not tell my sisters. You don't understand. I'm like, oh my god.
Well,
like, how?
Can I go with this one?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I actually don't hate what's going on with Dany, but I wish they would have done it differently. I wish that we would have had the True House, the Undying prophecies. I wish we would have had Quaithe talking to Dany this whole time, because this is obviously going to be the betrayal for love. Is Jon telling his lineage, his true lineage, when she doesn't want him to? So if we had all that, I think this would be all perfectly fine and dandy. But I mean, I think we're seeing kind of where they're heading. But I just wish that we should have got those things that we should have gotten, and I think it would have landed. It would have been a 10-point landing at this point, but they didn't. But I see where they're going. I just wish the execution was better in the past, and it can't be because they never introduced it. So, but it is what it is, as you would famously say.
True indeed. LT, your thoughts on Daphne?
I always have a trouble pronouncing this word, but she right now is the usurper, because she knows that he is the true heir, and she wants don't say nothing. She should be bending the knee, saying, "You are the king. Let's go kick Cersei's ass." But no, I'm the king. I'm the queen, and I'm gonna take back what's mine with fire and blood. No, JB. She's treasonous usurper.
No, I'm not saying she isn't. What I'm saying is the reason why it's ingrained in her mind this way, and like I said, this is why it wasn't executed as well in the show, is because she's had it drilled in her head prophecies. She did a magical thing. She raised 3 dragons. She believes that this is her destiny. She truly believes it because she's seen.
Not to mention the beware of the false dragon and stuff like that. That would fit in perfectly right here.
Yeah, that's reason. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's not in the show.
Not,
I'm saying that's why it would have made more sense if it was. It would have been a 10-point landing.
Yeah. It seems like they cut that out, but they forgot the consequences of what cutting that out means. It's pretty much. They cut out the cause, but they left the effect in.
We can make a 3-hour video about all the things they've cut out. Come on.
Yeah.
Because I could see. But
we will.
Yes.
Only have 2 episodes left before we can do that. Yay!
Mm-hmm. Well, real quick, I do want to address a question that we got from Sonny Frank, and he says, did Jon actually tell Dany or Daffy that he would not tell Arya and Sansa? And no, he did not verbalize that.
Yeah, he was very what do you call it?
Stupid.
Clear.
One
he was stupid, but he was also very clear, thorough, and straight. Yeah, clear and straightforward that he was going to. He never wavered on that.
But I was just going to say that I actually could see this scenario sort of playing out like this in the book potentially, because it makes sense. The chink in the wall, the betrayal for love, false dragon.
Yeah, you can easily see that she if she hears about this with Jon, she can easily, before she resolves the Aegon stuff, that she mistakes Jon for being the false dragon instead of fake.
I'll make a bet with you guys. If this happens in the book, if it happens, it's good. I bet you it happens at least after 500 pages. I'll bet you guys right now it's not going to happen early in the book. At least 500 pages.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Dream of Springs. That's not the Winds of Winter.
My biggest issue with this whole thing is this: no one is talking marriage suggestion. There's a solution. No one's talking solutions. They're all like, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I'm like, well, okay, let's talk about what would work. Maybe this. I don't know. They may need couples counseling. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, Varys briefly talked about why it wouldn't work.
Well, we'll get to that. I'm just, why themselves haven't even thought of it is Jon really does know nothing.
No, because at the end of the day, look, just seeing where Dany has been, and I'm gonna to bring it back to season 7, when she was talking to Jon in the throne room at Dragonstone about how she came through all of this different stuff, and the only person that she had to rely on and believe in was herself, no one else. You could clearly see that for her, she doesn't want anyone else to get in the way of her being the top dog. Period, point blank. So, for one, you got the whole thing of Jon still hasn't been legitimized as a Stark, right? He's still, to everybody in the outside world, he's still Jon Snow. So, still a bastard, and she's like, I can use the whole thing of, he's a bastard, I can't marry a bastard even if I legitimize him. And the fact that she wants to be sole ruler, she doesn't want to be co-ruler, because she doesn't want the whole thing of someone coming up to King's Landing her sitting on the Iron Throne and still asking, yeah, where's Jon Snow? You know, and that's the whole thing is she doesn't want to share the rule with anybody.
But why does this all matter if she's going to break the wheel? You know, previous.
That was all talk.
Well, yes, it was all talk. There you go. This show is all talk. No.
Yeah, but also talk. Weirdly, she was willing to. She was willing to share some responsibility with stupid Tyrion and Varys. Like she was willing to trust, like out of nowhere, sales source Tyrion and Varys with some stuff in Meereen.
And then also that other fool. What was his name? Hizdar.
But see, here's the thing, though, right?
Hizdar, she had to, but like Dario, she was like, "Yeah, I will trust you to be my consort and like negotiate this and that."
But see, here's the whole thing. She still wanted to have the final say. They didn't have the feudal system in Essos like they do here. So, you know, her having the petitioners and all that come, they only ever knew her, you know, and she's the one setting up the whole system. Whereas going to Westeros, she knows what everything has already been. They've never had a woman as the sole ruler before Cersei. And for her, she's like, well, yeah, once I take the throne, I don't want someone to come and be like, okay, well, cool, it was nice that you did all that, but we want a man there, you know, actually having the final say. She doesn't
just pass Dornish law throughout Westeros. Problem solved.
Listen.
Can we talk about the Dornish prince now?
Even if there's Dornish law, Jerry, Jon's still the true heir to the throne. She's not queen.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Well, whatevs for that. Can we let's talk about this battle plan of theirs?
Oh, before we start the battle plan, you guys just mentioned Dario. Why the hell doesn't she recall him in the Second Sons? They need as many swords as they could get.
Yeah, Dario would be the perfect scumbag to go against Euron. Like they're one and the same almost.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Dario's busy trying to be the Harpy. I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, let's get to this battle plan. So Daenerys now, and again, you know, more flashes of Mad Queen, because like she's like, all right, we won against the White Walkers. We won the Great War, quote unquote. So now it's time to go and take King's Landing. When Sansa rightly brings up that, hey, yeah, look, we just got kind of slaughtered, and especially when they're wiping pieces off the board, and like, oh, half of the Unsullied is gone, and I don't know, the lone Dothraki only wipes half of the Dothraki pieces off the board, and I'm like, didn't they all get slaughtered? Like, we only saw like Jorah and like 3 dudes crawl back to the camp, so I don't know how in the world he's only wiping half of the Dothraki pieces off the board. You got a whole bunch of the Northmen who just got slaughtered in this whole thing too. And this was like maybe a day, 2 days ago, and she's already like, I
imagine weeks or something have passed, because apparently a year passes each season, so I guess 2 months are passing each episode for this one. So it's only 2
I don't know, but the point is, you know, instead of her being rational about this and saying, okay, yeah, we need to reform, see if there's anybody that we can call up for more troops. I mean, the Vale Army, I think they wiped away like damn near half the Vale Army off of that.
I didn't even know the Vale Army was there. I'm surprised.
I didn't even know the Wildlings were there either. We saw
Bronn.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We saw Jan Royce there. He wiped off a bunch of the Vale tokens too. They had the Vale tokens, the Unsullied, the Dothraki, and then the North. And we saw all of the commanders there. We saw a bunch of all 4 of the commanders wipe a bunch of their pieces off the board.
So here's my whole thing with this thing. I'll just say my piece real quick. Sansa's finally for once is finally off of her bullshit, and she's finally showing some goddamn hospitality. And then, like, Daenerys is just so fucked up that she's just like, oh, fuck that, we're going right now. Like, it just makes no sense. She just should have took the hospitality, let them rest. If there's one thing we know about this fucking show, series, whatever, generally, if you just wait, you win. Like, Stannis just waited it out. Everyone else died. Might as well wait.
It is what it is with that. But
you know Cersei was going to do... Yeah. Especially when you got Cersei. Like, if you're going to do something stupid, the longer... If you just wait.
Especially when Cersei's army is a sellsword company that you need to pay by the minute. I mean, the Golden Company, is like...
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, but it made too much sense.
They're not there for nothing.
Are the wildlings part of the North? Because I don't remember seeing anybody except Tormund in the battle of the short night. So I'm like, where did all the wildling people go? And we only see a few in the background in this episode.
I mean, we'll get to that when we talk about them departing or whatever. But it basically seems as though, it seems as though the wildlings were kind of there just for refuge, and whoever didn't get killed, you're not necessarily part of the army. It's like, hey, we just came to get away from the White Walkers, and now that the White Walkers are done, all right. That was it. That was our commitment to the battle, was just to fight them.
But they fought in the battles of the bastards. They fought. They like supposedly Tormund's the leader of them now, and they're supporting Jon. So like, what? I'm confused.
I mean, they're wildlings. They don't give a shit about southern happenings. They just want to go back to where they are. They don't give a shit. I'm not too worried about that. I just want to know who this Prince of Dorne is. That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, they just threw that in there. Like, oh yeah, the new Prince of Dorne. Yo, we haven't even we literally have not seen any other houses in Dorne mentioned since the Purple Wedding. That was literally the only... No, not even the Purple Wedding. I'm sorry. The introduction to when Oberyn comes in and Tyrion, Bronn, and Pod are outside the gates, welcoming everybody in, and Podrick is, rattling off all the sigils. That was literally the only time that we ever heard any other houses in Dorne, period, point blank.
Jerry mentioned it's Quentin. Quentin's alive.
It is Quentin.
Or it's Darkstar. Or it's Ironwood.
Douche-Star.
Oh my god.
Yeah, can we just take a moment for that?
Edric Dane, because he's with the Brotherhood Without Banners.
Okay, so... Okay, the show, Dorne, amazing. So, Bad Pussy, and then they, from what I've seen, because I think I missed some, but then, 10 snakes slaughtered everyone, and they were like, yo, girl power, we're like the Spice Girls, and now girl power, and then, that totally was forgotten, and now Prince of Dorne. At least, they could have just said Princess of Dorne, at least. Like that fucking shit show! They could at least have given us a Princess of Dorne.
Well, I haven't given my score yet. Obviously, none of us have, but this is 1 - 5 right here, guys.
At least just give us a princess.
1 - 5.
You create that shitstorm of the Dorne plot in the show. At least you could have just threw Princess of Dorne. Just that. So that I was not for nothing, that you went for that whole power thing,
I know, they should have said Princess of Dorne because there's 6 sand snakes left, but no princess. Yeah.
Or it could have been Arian Martell. She was just off somewhere when they were there before.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who? Oh my god. Yeah. All right. So look, after this, we get well, not even after. During this whole thing, Jon is kind of like, well, yeah, well, Daenerys said that we gotta have people go to battle, so we're gonna send everybody to battle to take that, Sansa and Arya. Okay, I'm still warden of the North. I call the shots here. To which after the council is dismissed, Arya and Sansa are like, nah, right, we gotta talk. We need to fucking
Oh
talk.
yeah, let's get to this talk at the Godswood.
So they go to the
I have some things to
Godswood.
say about that.
Yeah, so they go to the Godswood. They're having a nice little Stark powwow. We're the last of the Starks. And we need to stick together. We can't, let Dany come through and drive us apart and yada yada yada. And because Jon just can't keep his damn mouth shut, which, honestly speaking,
He really can't.
he shouldn't, because he is the rightful king of the Seven Kingdoms. He shouldn't keep his mouth shut, but he can't. No, like, if anything, he should have waited until after the war. But
Yeah,
now
he should
we
not.
have this situation where Arya knows, and Arya basically seems not to give a fuck, and scheming ass Sansa knows.
I knew you were going to say that. Scheming Sansa.
We already know what scheming ass Sansa is going to do, because she's scheming ass Sansa.
And can we also find a good nickname for like 7-year-old Jon? Can you promise to never ever tell anyone and pinky swear on your mama's on your undead mama's grave, please, pinky swear that you'll never ever tell anyone.
Before we even get to that,
how is that man supposed to rule 7 kingdoms? And
well, he obviously didn't go to the school of Littlefinger on how to pass information. So, no, he went to the school of season 7, Littlefinger, on how to pass, or what is it, season 6? Well, I don't know what season it was. They did the bullshit with Littlefinger, but whatever it was, that's the one. That's the Littlefinger. He's training under Middlefinger, and but even before that, let's talk about. Even though Daenerys is now on that bullshit now, now these Stark girls are on some bullshit too, where they're just they have no credit whatsoever or thanks or everything for her coming to help you in the North. They're just oh, we didn't need her. We had Arya this whole time. She could have.
Well, no. Arya actually did say we needed her. I mean, but then Sansa was like, yeah, but you're the one who killed Night King.
Yeah, exactly. They're on that bullshit.
They're not on bullshit. They're fucking being honest. Everybody's fucking banged up. You don't want to go into a fight right away.
But they're discrediting that Dany helped them at all, is what they're doing. They're like, well, it was all Arya. It was all Arya.
I mean, look, it is what it is. How do we feel? How do you guys feel about not seeing the reaction to this news?
That's fucking bullshit, man.
I don't mind that they didn't show them telling them. That's fine. But if that's how they're gonna do it, we need to see a scene with Arya and Sansa where they discuss how they reacted. We need at least that.
I agree 100%.
Why was it for Bran to tell them and not Jon? Why?
Because it's more dramatic. And
no,
Jon,
it's not more dramatic at all.
Bran's got the 9,000 narration program.
It's not at all more dramatic for, the Googles to tell Arya and Sansa. It's more dramatic for the person whose story it is to tell how he feels about it, because that's.
It's also, I think it's also kind of more believable if someone else is telling it. If you're the one telling it, you're just yeah, it's all me. I'm the if someone else is saying, yeah, he's the one.
I would like Davos to tell them more than Bran.
Either way, I think they bumbled this scene too.
Isn't Davos like Jon's hand? I mean, they haven't officially said it, but he's kind of like Jon's hand.
I don't even know what Davos is.
Yeah,
he's just been kind of there this whole time, like in season 6. He's just been there.
Yeah, but I still love him, so he can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the scene, yeah, a reaction would have been nice. It's really all I got to say about it. I don't know why they decided to go with that route they did. I'm not the director of the show, but I mean, I feel like this is a big fucking deal. This is Jon telling his family that they don't have the same father. I mean, this is a huge deal, and I don't know why it didn't seem like it was treated as such. But we should have got.
There's a lot of things that weren't treated.
Well, I mean, no. Well, trust me. I got some other things. I know we're gonna talk about Ghost. I have a different take than you guys on that, but.
We're gonna get to all of that. We're gonna get to it. First.
Let's talk about Ninja.
Now, first we have to get to the man who wants his money
out of nowhere.
The most famous and practically stealthy sellsword and the quickest, because Littlefinger's travel services are still in full effect. Bronn. So we get Tyrion and Jaime, who are having a nice little powwow, having a drink before they part ways again. And then in walks Bronn with a big ass crossbow, not in a bag or anything. How the hell did he get into Winterfell with the big ass crossbow and absolutely like no one stopped him? I mean, it's not like they said, "Hey, let's go to Molestown." They're still in Winterfell.
No, I think that reminded me. I think that was the area that they saw the dragons in the beginning. I might be wrong, but I don't think that was Winterfell.
No, that was Winterfell. They hadn't left yet.
Are you guys 100% sure?
Remember, Jaime didn't even leave.
Yeah, right. Remember, Jaime was staying. Jaime told Tyrion that he was going to be staying with Brienne. And
I mean, I mean, I don't think LT is wrong. I mean, I don't think it's 100% Winterfell. It could be Winterstown, like we're outside Winterfell. I mean,
that's what I thought it was.
It could be any of the Winterfell surrounding areas.
Okay, well, but still, think about it like this.
Winterfell proximity.
Wait, but think about it like this. You think they're not still going to have soldiers around?
They're probably more laid back than they were. They don't have to worry about the fucking the White Walkers, and then they don't have to worry about no other threats in the north.
Well,
they weren't expecting nobody to come in there and do nothing.
I'll say this about the Bronn scene: the fact that he came out of nowhere, snuck in with the crossbow, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me about the scene is it's just like it's the same thing with Bronn. Like, can we get some? I mean, I get it. We get it. He's a funny cutthroat that will sell his soul for money, and it doesn't matter what bonds he has. It would have been nice maybe if we would have seen some character progression. Maybe you would have seen Bronn say, "Fuck it, I'll join in with my friends." Some character progression or something. It was just the same old song and dance. So that was my problem with it, more than just him coming out of nowhere.
Well, what's one problem I have, because and this is part of the reason why I think that sometimes the writers must think that people are stupid and have the shortest memories possible. Apparently Cersei said that Bronn can have River Run. I'm sorry, but shouldn't Edmure be at River Run right now?
Well, he was a prisoner, and there was no more of his men left. I don't think he was a prisoner. What do you think that the Lannisters let him go?
I thought they let him go, and they let him go in, and that way that's what they...
No, they let him go in there to convince the Blackfish to surrender, and then the Blackfish was gone. He didn't say you're free. You're not. He's probably a prisoner.
I mean, but no, he shouldn't be a prisoner, because remember, Arya killed all the damn Freys. Arya killed all of the Freys, which means that Edmure should be out right now.
Ultimately, I think we're thinking way too much about this scene. Like, it was nothing. We don't need to put this much thought into it.
I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of thought into it, but I'm just like, I think the writers should have put more thought into it and given him. giving them Harrenhal. Hey, you know what? Harrenhal. Because no one fucking controls Harrenhal.
Well, what should have been happening is Jaime and Tyrion, after this was over, should have been like, "Oh, let's just get him killed. Send the Hound or Brienne after him."
And you know what? Tukey, Mello, and Daddy TV in the chat said, "Why didn't Tyrion and Jaime just order the army to go out and kill him after he left?"
That's what I'm saying.
There's only a few episodes left, so they're past for time, and they want to go on to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. It was dumb as fuck. You know, look, I like Bronn, mainly because of the actor that plays him. He does a great job as coming off as a scoundrel. So yeah, it's hard not to like Bronn, but I hate when they just have Bronn doing shit that shouldn't be possible for a human being to do without being fucking murdered. Anyway, next up we get the.
I was trying to say something.
Sorry.
I was saying,
go ahead.
Someone did make some sense that the long night just happened. Everyone's been drinking. I mean, the guard would be down probably. I mean, he could conceivably get there at night beyond defenses. Like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But that's a small, minute thing. It doesn't really matter.
Could be. All right, next up we get the Hound. The Hound is leaving. It's the next morning. He's out of there. Arya catches up with him. They're both going to King's Landing. We know what's coming. We've been waiting for it for forever. Finally, at some point in the next 2 episodes, we are going to get Clegane Bowl. Get hype.
I disagree. I don't think Clegane Bowl's happening. I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, I think it's happening here, but I don't think it's happening in the books.
Well, okay,
I don't think it's happening whatsoever.
Yeah, why couldn't it happen in the books?
I have to wait till we get in the books for sure, but I have to wait till we get to later to this episode to explain why I think we're not going to get.
Okay, I really want to hear it. So.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about something. I had a thought too, and I hope they don't do this because to me it would be some bullshit. But we'll see what happens. And after, the next thing up is we see Dany about, taking off with dragons, and Sansa and Tyrion have a little back and forth before Sansa spills the beans. And
Scheming Sansa.
And, it's funny because the look on her face didn't necessarily convey that the scheme was in effect. But you would have to know that Sansa had to been thinking this in her mind, and I don't know, one of the Dumb and Dumbers in the inside the episode said, "Oh yeah, she was definitely thinking about that."
They called her a pupil of Littlefinger.
Right. So obviously, the scheme is in full effect when it comes to.
And it's a good scheme. I don't know why you're so mad. Like earlier, it would have been bad, but this is a good scheme. She's doing the right thing. She's trying to get out there that Jon's the king, and then little Dany could bend the knee and get out the way.
True indeed, but she has the cause.
Yeah, but she's not taking into account how Jon's going to react.
Jon needs a little push because he doesn't want it. He needs a push.
I mean, look, it's going to cause conflict either way.
Yeah.
It's going to be conflict, period, point blank. And she has to know this. Like, there can't be any way where she's like, oh, man, I can't tell Tyrion because if Tyrion finds out, no, she has to know that there's going to be some conflict that comes up with that. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, then, we transition to the wildlings. Like Jon is leaving, and Tormund comes up to him and is like, "Hey, listen, bro. Thank you for saving us. Thank you for bringing the Dragon Queen to save us. We're done. We're going back north of the Wall because, yeah, you guys are on some bullshit right now." And Jon is like, "Oh man, yeah, thanks. Even though you said that, you need to fight for me as long as need be, because I died and came back to fight for you guys. But yeah, sure, abandon me when half of my fucking army is decimated. Oh, and by the way, because I can't really afford to have him around anymore, take my fucking precious direwolf. Last fucking direwolf in the Seven Kingdoms, sigil of my goddamn family. Yeah, take him with you. Just my ghost.
Well, no, that's not a sigil. He's a Targaryen.
You know what I mean. I mean, listen.
Well, Nymeria's still out there.
Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, Nymeria's out
he's
there.
a Targaryen. So
maybe that's why he's getting rid of ghosts. He's like, I'm Targaryen now. I don't need a dog anymore.
Yeah, I got a fucking dragon. Who needs this fucking beat up ass wolf now?
Willie, earlier you were talking about how he's Ned Stark's son. He looked more like Ned Stark's son here, where he says direwolves are no place, and you take them. I'll start first. Beyond the Wall. This is the most horrible scene behind the burning of Shireen. Shireen was number one as far as I can't watch it over again. I never want to watch this episode again, specifically because of this scene that Jon sends his direwolf, who's been with him from the beginning, who saved his life on many occasions, and wants to send him north of the Wall. Yeah, this is one of the worst scenes ever in this show, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hate on Twitter. I didn't really, I haven't read any episode review to arrive here untouched by what people think of the episode. But I just saw the thing about Ghost, because that's not really talking about the episode. And yeah, why the puppy? And as Eliana, who's never gonna watch that video, but I'm still shout out to Eliana, was claiming on Twitter, why did he not even fluff his pup before saying goodbye? Not even one last hug. No, just that was horrible. Not even one goodbye to the pup.
Jerry,
that was nothing.
Jerry, I need to hear you on this, man.
I mean, what's left to say that hasn't already been said? There's, I mean, they might as well just have Jon say, you know what, we need some money. And just giving Ghost some pockets and just taking some money out and be like, need this for some battle CGI. Scatter.
He could have had him stay with Sansa and protect Sansa. I mean, yes, she's got Bran, but the more protection, the merrier.
Okay, so I'll jump in here. I'm taking the devil advocate position. One, I do agree that there definitely could have been more of a discussion. He could have went and hugged Ghost and said goodbye, old friend, something along those lines. And they could have left Ghost in Winterfell, guarding Bran or Sansa, as you said. That would have been perfectly fine. But in terms of Jon sending away Ghost, in show canon, it's actually pretty consistent with how they've done direwolves. Jon has never warged in the show. Ghost has never really been around in the show. The direwolves in general have not been a big part of the show. Arya hasn't warged in the show. So to me, it's consistent with their writing, at least in show canon, that it's not this huge thing that he sent Ghost away. In my opinion, if you look consistently at just the show canon, I think people are bringing too much of the books into it in this instance.
I'm not listening.
Hey, that's your opinion.
Well, real quick, I just want to say, for me, it's not even about the books. It's just Ghost has been with Jon since episode 1 of the damn series.
Yeah.
He deserves a little better than for Jon to just be like,
no.
Oh, hey, do me a favor, take my pup away from you, and then just give him the head nod and bounce.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need warging. He's a good doggo. It's your pup. It's a good doggo. You don't send your good doggo away. That's it. You don't even need to warg to know that you don't send your good doggo away.
Well, I mean, we're in agreement where I'm saying that they should have kept him in Winterfell. We're agreeing with that. I'm just saying I don't think it's so crazy that they're separating right now, mainly because they didn't want to have him in the show. But hey, look at the bright side. Ghost isn't going to die. So
right.
just look
That's the same thing I thought about Tormund.
I listen. I get that. I get that. I'm just like, why did it seem so inconsequential to him though? It seemed like, all right, yeah, look, you got the fucking, wolf there. Yeah, look, do me a favor, take care of him. I got better shit to do than fuck around with this fucking wolf. He's all beat up now anyway. All right, yeah.
Well, that was problem number one for me, and there's gonna be another inconsequential thing where that should have been taken with a lot more weight as well that we're gonna talk about when we get to it. But
we got a few more things. Oh, we got a few more. All right, so look, finally, Jon is about to shove off. He sees Sam and Gilly. Gilly apparently now is pregnant, and where the fuck is little Sam?
Probably in the what they travel in, that thing. It's like a carriage. He's probably in there.
But the point is, they've mentioned him a couple of times this season, and there's been like absolutely no shot of little Sam.
He wasn't in the crypts? I thought he was in the crypts with them.
Wait, was Sam leaving? That's one thing.
Sam stayed.
Okay,
they're staying
in Winterfell.
There, but it was.
I thought he was going. I thought he might be going to Old
It was
Town
just one
or
of those
something.
things where it's like, okay, you got Sam and Gilly. Why is there no sight of little Sam whatsoever? It's a nitpick, but
Maybe
it's
he's
something
playing
I
with other
definitely
kids.
noticed.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
Kids or something. So Sam's did Daenerys off screen forgive Sam for leaving the Night's Watch, and because he's still Jerry, technically Sam's a fugitive, right?
There is no Night's Watch now.
He's not a fugitive.
Night's Watch is fucking dead.
One, yeah, the Night's Watch, but he was also given an order by his Lord Commander at the time to go on a mission.
I mean, it is what it is.
By the time he got back, there was no Night's Watch or no Night's Watch. So, whatever.
All right, so next up we get Varys and.
Can we do both of the? Because I mean, they're kind of redundant. The Varys and Tyrion scenes about the discuss. They really discuss the same shit twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. We'll talk about those two together. Fuck it. Varys and Tyrion talk about Daphne and how she's going fucking crazy, and they got a better option. Look, again, they bring up the marriage thing, and Varys said exactly the same thing that I said. That she is not going to give up any kind of power whatsoever. She's not willing to share power. That's not what she wants. That's not what she came here for. She thinks she's a fucking savior, and Daffy Duck has to die. Elmer Fudd needs to come with the shotgun and blow Daffy Duck's fucking head off. Period. Point blank. Who's got next on this one?
I'll go quick. Mine is quick. You guys know how I feel. She's a spoiled little brat, and that's why probably one of the reasons why Varys doesn't think a marriage will work. I'm with Jerry. I think a marriage would work, but they're not having it. They're not going to have it because they're going to show us that she is the Mad Queen and she's a spoiled little brat and she's not going to bend to nobody's will. She's probably going to, Go ahead.
I'll say, I think the basis of Varys' argument was that with the secret being out, the secret that's going to get out of Jon and Dany's true heritage and the fact that they're aunt and nephew, that it won't be accepted by the common folk, that they would be accepted essentially. Kind of like.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
There's no more faith, so that doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it's still kind of a taboo, if you will.
Is it? We have no history of, it
was still a taboo. It was a taboo for the twins to be doing it.
Well, the twins are twins. This is aunt and nephew. We know like Tywin got away with first cousin, so.
Well, I'm just saying that was his. I'm saying that was his argument.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was his argument. But the one thing where I think his argument falls flat is he talks about how Jon would be a great leader, which obviously I think Jon would be a great leader. But he says that essentially he's saying that Jon would be subservient to Dany, that he's submissive to her. So that's where I think his argument kind of falls flat, because if Jon essentially is going to be submissive to Dany, why does he think that Jon is capable of being a good leader? I think he is, but if that's Varys' argument, I guess I don't get his argument.
They want it both ways. He's saying two conflicting things, but they can't be mutually exclusive.
I personally was scared for Varys here. I thought that maybe somehow Daenerys would hear what was going on, and I really thought in this episode we were going to see him get burned by Drogon, and I still think we might.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that next episode.
I'm just sick of this bullshit. Just like, I don't want to say it's manufactured, but it's forced. What do you call it? Raising the conflict by saying like, "Oh, there's no way it could work," and then
that's fiction. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like there's no like, and by using this, like what James said, they want it both ways. So like, his argument's bad. So. It's just frustrating that the solution is simple, but no one wants to do it. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then one more thing. Can we stop with the fucking callbacks of every fucking line ever spoken in this show? Like, we know they ran out of we know they ran out of book material. We know they ran out of creative material. We know they ran out of ideas. Now they're running out of fucking words. Like,
they reuse.
Okay, well, what was
the Paradise were meant.
There's that. There's also earlier the Arya. That's not me. And there's also here where Tyrion's like, Varys, please don't. He was like, Shay, please don't. It's the same fucking thing every time. Like, it's just getting ridiculous. Last episode. Like, Sansa's like, well, what do I do with the knife? You fucking a bitch. Like, come on. You don't need to say, stick him with the pointy end. Come on. Ugh.
I like that. I like the pointy end one.
It's overused. But, like, it's okay if they do it every now, but it's like every fucking episode they have, like 2 to 5 callback lines. It's ridiculous.
All right. And still haven't got your thoughts on the Varys and Tyrion stuff.
Well, because I don't really have that much to add. It was... I don't think any of Varys' arguments were rational or reasonable. Yeah, it could have worked. There are 8 people know. They were not... Again, because like none of that was tackled properly. I don't really know, because we don't see the reaction of Bran announcing it to Arya and Sansa. We don't really know what's going on in their head. Then we don't see the scene of Sansa announcing it to Tyrion, so we don't. And I have not watched behind the episode, so maybe you want to fill me in. But we don't really know. I don't really know what's going on in her head. So as viewers of only the episode, like, we are like, it's glaringly obvious she does not like Dany, but like, we're not really sure what her motivation is. But they're obviously not trying to find a peaceful resolution to that conflict. They're just being like, that won't work, but not like, how can we compromise and make that work? It's like, yeah, they pretty much, that whole fucking realm needs couple counseling because they just don't know how to do it,
Well, I mean, essentially what it comes down to, what I believe is that Sansa wants the North to abdicate from the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
But Dany won't acquiesce, even though she's the one that says she wants to break the wheel. I don't know why you want to break the wheel. Well, why can't you just have 6 kingdoms instead of 7?
But isn't that already 6? Because he's on the Iron Isles already independent.
Well, no, they're now back in the fold for Dany. because they said that Yara took the Iron Islands in Dany's name.
Okay.
Can we talk about how this dumb shit is going on with the North anyways? That they're like, their whole platform was like, well, it was the dragons that we bent our knee to. Well, and now they're like, well, dragons are here, but King of the North! Ah! I mean, your whole basis for calling King of the North is gone. Why are you still doing this nonsense?
How did Asha take the whole Iron Islands with just a few ships? I mean, you got all the Great Wick, you got Pike, you got all these different islands, and she took them all with a few ships.
Because she had the support of the new Prince of Dorne.
First off, it wasn't Asha that took it; it was Yara that took it.
Yara, okay, my.
But okay. Anyway, my whole point was, yeah, it's just, like pointless nitpicking that is not really thought out, and there are, again, it's like we're causing conflict that they're not really trying to solve. Yeah, again, obviously marriage is the right answer, and they're purposefully trying to not make that work. Mm-hmm. They're creating conflict where there shouldn't be.
They're forced accelerating conflict.
Exactly.
I guess I really don't understand why we need to have conflict at this point when we got 2 episodes left and we got Cersei. I don't get why we need it. Which is kind of my gripe in the beginning of the season, but hey.
Plot twist.
Exactly. Because Cersei's not the real villain.
Yeah.
Daffy's the real villain. Because we needed. Because the Night King's not the real villain.
Yeah.
And obviously, we all knew that Cersei could not be the real villain. The real villain was Dany all along. Daffy all along. Or maybe Jon, or maybe
me, Austin. It was me all along.
Yeah, someone.
Like, because we need so many more actual real villains for the, until the end.
Yeah, someone cue up the damn Scooby Doo writers with all of this, shit.
Back to Littlefinger.
Let's get off of this and get to the meat of
She's
the episode.
She's like fifth in line for the throne.
So yeah, Dany,
and maybe.
Speaking out of nowhere.
What up, Dany and company are traveling back to Dragonstone. We get the nice little scene with Missandei and Grey Worm. Oh, it's gonna be so sweet. Let's hold hands while we're in the middle of the fucking ocean, having absolutely no idea where you're.
Well, not in the middle of the fucking ocean, right?
Yeah. And then
at the mouth of,
as Dany is flying and she's within sight of Dragonstone, we get the classic line from Dexter, "Surprise, motherfucker," as as Euron and company proceed to shoot down Rhaegal like he was nothing, and Daenerys decides she wants to try to do a kamikaze run for a minute until she figures out, oh wait, I can't rule the 7 kingdoms if I'm dead. Let me get the fuck out of here. Euron and company use their nice brand new scorpions with machine gun bolts to rip through Daenerys's fleet, if you can even call it that. Missandei gets captured, and Daenerys, is even more Mad Queen than before now, and is ready to burn down King's Landing with all of the people who are inside. All right, who wants to go first on this?
Me.
Oh, go ahead.
And go ahead.
Okay, so yes, again, battle planning. What is even that battle planning? So they knew they had scorpions because that has been discussed, right? they were well aware that the Golden Company was bringing scorpions, right? Am I correct about that?
No, because Qyburn is the only one that does the scorpions.
Okay, I thought they were aware that they had scorpions. I would have sworn that they knew.
Well, I think they knew they had them because the battle in last season where Jaime did the charge at Drogon. They knew they had scorpions in that battle.
Okay, because I was pretty sure that they knew that scorpions. They knew that they were fighting the Greyjoys that had a fleet. Okay, they knew that. And then confirmation. They knew they were arriving at that pivotal point of Dragonstone, which is exactly the only point they had to come there, the only point where they could be ambushed. That's the point where, if you're going to be ambushed anywhere, that's going to be that. You have to go through that gullet. And then it's like, flowers in my hair, it's so nice. Like if they were in the middle of the ocean. It's kind of reminding us when she's crossing across the narrow sea, and arriving to Dragonstone from, where was she arriving from?
White Harbor. White Harbor, yeah, White Harbor.
White Harbor. They sailed from White Harbor.
Okay. So, like last season when you see them crossing the narrow sea. No. Last season when she was arriving and she's crossing the narrow sea to arrive to.
Oh,
anyway,
to go to King's Landing, she had to go to go across Blackwater.
When she's crossing from Essos to Westeros, where was she in Essos?
Oh,
Slaver's Bay.
She was coming from Essos. She was coming from Marine, I believe.
Okay.
Slaver's Bay, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. When she's anyway arriving, no one's expecting her. She's crossing the ocean. There's a glorious music coming, she's free, she's like, yeah. But no. Cersei's expecting her. She's in form. She's at war. Everybody knows they're about to fight. She knows she's, but no. She's like, oh, yeah. No. The fuck? Battle planning? The fuck? No one, they're not, this. Dothrakis, they're also, archers, right? And why on when we're reaching that, why don't we have bows are drawn, and why isn't the dragons one thing ready to fire? And
according to Fausto, he said on the inside the episode, D&D said Dany just forgot about Euron's fleet.
Yeah, that's correct. She forgot about him.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Fausto. Thank you. Yeah. No, so that's why did they then have a war council before, where they had these little chess pieces that we saw and that were on the table, and why do they even bother discussing that? And now we're about to fight the last war that she just discussed, okay, maybe 2 weeks ago, because the episode is 2 weeks, but did she forget that in the span of 2 weeks that she's about to fight the last war? Anyway, so that was there I started getting really mad about the episode. I was really mad.
Well, here's the thing.
Because there was.
Here's the thing. First, we know Euron. What was it, last season, where he did the John Cena, where he's taking all the hits, and he's like, "My name is Euron Greyjoy," and he's started slamming everyone and whooping ass. Well, this time he's like, I got to do the Randy Orton and just come out of RKO. I'm gonna RKO Rhaegal out of nowhere, and how he did it. Well, we know we already discussed this seasons ago that Euron is he's allied with Cobra from G.I. Joe, and Don Willie, you know Cobra as good as anyone. What kind of cloaking technology do they have, Cobra?
Oh, they got the best cloaking technology out there. So, I mean,
exactly.
Better than the Romulans, better than Klingons.
Exactly. I mean, he had the Cobra's signature, the sigil on his sigil. But then when it him, so. You got Cobra Commander and Euron taking down Rhaegal. That makes perfect sense to me.
Well, I mean, this is where it completely fell apart for me.
I'll tell you where it doesn't make sense before James gets going. Is how the fuck did he capture Missandei by herself? How did no one look for her while they were in the water? Go ahead, James.
Let's just not show it, so we don't need to explain it if we don't show it, right?
Why is Grey Worm waiting until he goes to the shore and he's like, wait a minute, where's Missandei? Why didn't he look earlier?
Okay, so problem number one, it's wide open seas. Dany is 100 feet up in the air. Are you telling me that you cannot see a fleet while in the air? I mean, what kind of, how do you miss that? Now,
I guess you forgot about it.
She must have forgot how to see as well. But that's not even the thing that pissed me off the most. All right, not even the machine gun ballista, not even the death of Rhaegal. The Rhaegal dying, I could see it happening. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. The thing that irked me the most about this whole scene, not even also the serendipitous Missandei capturing, which is obviously just a way that the writers came up with so they could kill Missandei and have this, this moment for Dany. The thing that pissed me off the most about the scene was the unceremonious death of Rhaegal. Not the fact that he did die, but the fact that afterwards, the only bit that we saw of emotion from Dany was her little rage scream that she went off. There was no talk about it. There was no devastating moment for Dany, and she lost. This is one of her kids. She lost a dragon. It's a big fucking deal. She didn't. There was no discussion there was no dread from everyone saying oh my god, we just lost. First off, we already lost 1/3 last season of what makes Dany special. And now we lost 2/3 of what makes Dany special. Now she only has got one left, and we see that they're apparently not that hard to kill. So why are we even backing Dany at this point? Because she's only down to 1/3 of what makes her special.
And there went down quick. He didn't even get hit in the eye.
Yeah, there was. Like I said, I'm not even too worried. That's stuff that didn't even bother me. It's the fact that it was they didn't even have a discussion about her losing Rhaegal. There was no discussion about it. There was nothing. That's what pissed me off about that. Because it just would have made sense for them to have something. And that's 1/3 of her power base. But also the machine gun scorpions were pretty ridiculous. I mean, let's be frank.
Yeah.
And the Cobra cloaking technology.
All right. Are we ready to get to the final scene?
Well, I
haven't gone yet.
Wants to say something.
Oh, sorry. LT, go ahead.
I agree with everything.
LT, tell us how Cobra Commander did it.
Yeah, but one thing, you think about it like this, they don't mention nothing did Daenerys leave a garrison at Dragonstone? I mean, they didn't mention nothing about that. So you got to think maybe it's slightly forced. Why didn't Euron and them just sneak inside of Dragonstone and pretend like they're not there, and then ambush Daenerys, and they would all be gone? Battle won. Of course, they're not going to do that. But I just thought about that. So you guys already know I hate this episode because of the ghost thing. Now, I agree completely with JB that they should have saw the Iron Fleet or whatever. But dude, this caught me off guard. I did not expect this. It was a very well shot scene. I did not expect it one bit. I love this kind of shit. I love being caught off guard, by them taking out Rhaegal. I thought it showed balls. I thought it definitely showed balls. So this made me like this episode a little bit more. That's all I'm gonna say. It showed balls, in my opinion.
Oh, you were caught off guard just like Dany was.
Definitely.
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. This was one of the few times in recent memory where I was like, oh, this is actually starting to remind me of the old Game of Thrones. It was a surprising thing that happened. It was, like LT said, great shot scene. Except for except for the look on Euron's face, I'm sorry, the actor, they needed to give him a different name. All right, he shouldn't have had the name Euron. Yeah, they should have made up a new Greyjoy instead of giving him Euron's name.
Well, I was gonna say, in all fairness, he's been portrayed the same from the start, so that is the character. Yeah, books wise, it sucks, but I do want to know if you guys agreed, because like I said, I don't really like. Yeah, the stuff was cool that happened, the action that was cool, but do you guys agree that they should have had more of a reaction or discussion about Rhaegal's death?
Yeah, they definitely. Look, the next scene after they didn't find Missandei should have been them in the war room with Daenerys screaming, "They killed my dragon. They killed Rhaegal." It should have been her, going on the rampage scream, and that should have been the thing before Tyrion and Varys try to talk her off the ledge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it should have been.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say it should have been similar to in the books when Tywin was like, "They have my son," and Jaime didn't even die; he just got captured.
Oh, yes. Okay, because first half of this episode, I like the pacing. Again, like back on their horrible pacing problem that show was always had, even when it was good. When I really liked first season of that show. But they were always bad with the pacing. So I think from the first scene of that episode, like they, planted little seeds, I'm sorry, of what was to come for Dany's turning, and but then it's just starting there, it just started being rushed, and from that point on, it's just they're rushing the Mad Queen storyline, and just rushing it, and then makes no sense. I totally agree with you. It's she's gonna do 180, and it's not gonna feel deserved or make any sense really. And yeah, it's as always, oh, but you should understand, it's you're supposed to understand that it actually takes 2 months, and you're supposed to see because actually there was a flower that bloomed in the background, and you're not a good show watcher because you don't catch all those details. Oh, come on, make it feel a little earned, your pacing is not good. It's not me who's a bad show watcher,
Right. Real quick. Hold on, real quick. Fausto does bring up something. Dany does say, "Did you see my child fall from the sky?"
Yeah.
I think because Dany didn't seem more outraged for that particular event is probably the reason why we glossed over it. Because at this point, I'm expecting tears to be streaming down her face, and for her to be like, "I lost 2 of the only 3 dragons in existence," and if you're gonna have her go Mad Queen, don't just let it be that she does all this with her eyes and look like she's about to Hulk out. If she's gonna go Mad Queen, let her go Mad Queen. If there's supposed to be a break, I think it would sell it more if she actually had a break versus it being I'm so angry. Did you see they shot my baby out of the sky? I'm like,
well, it should have been more than just that one line.
Yeah, I like that line. I like that it said child. I agree with you, Fausto. That was nice. But yeah, give us a master shot. Again, it's no shade. And because I don't know if it's Emilia was not the best actress, or if it's
she's not
in general their actor direction that's not the best. Because it could be said about because I think other actors that have been good in other shows are not the best there. Lena Headey, that has been good in other things, is very one-dimensional. Has been very one-dimensional lately, but like she doesn't have the range to like, because in the earliest season she had more range than she does now. So so yeah, give us just, it can be quick. Give us like a little something, because of her, give us just a little time, a little breathing room, so that we can see that it affects her.
Right. I mean,
and it's also
like
not even.
Like I said, I think you talked on or touched on you don't know if it's the writing or if it's the directing. I mean, or if it's the acting or if it's the directing. I think it might be a little bit of both.
All of the above.
She's not giving it all that she could, and the director is not saying, "Hey, you just lost a second child, and not only just a second child, but one of the only 3 remaining dragons. You were down to 2 dragons, and now you're down to 1. We need more from you to show just how badly this is going to be affecting you."
And just for clarification, I'm not talking about just from Dany as well. Like, this should have been talked about among everyone, and in fact, it would have been a perfect opportunity for Varys to actually talk about her power base dwindling when he was having that second conversation with Tyrion. Would have been perfect time.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. But let's move on.
Hey, Jeff Thomas asked, do we think Dany's pregnant? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's funny because they threw in that line from Jon last season about, do you think that maybe, maybe you didn't get the right source or whatever it was he said, about Miri Mazdor saying that she would never be able to have kids again. And I think that was kind of stupid for it to be, that's not going to be a thing. She's not going to be pregnant. So why even put that in the mind of anyone that she might be? So yeah, what else? We want to get the Jaime and Brienne before we go to the parlay.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Jaime and Bran.
So,
I forgot.
So Jaime, is seeing that Sansa and Brienne are having a little powwow. Sansa informs Jaime that Cersei just killed one of the dragons and ambushed Daenerys and captured Missandei, and she's like, "Hey, I was hoping I could get to see your sister executed, but I'm not going to get a chance because I think at the end of the day, they're kind of expecting that that she is going to burn down the city after this." Jaime is having his, second thoughts about this whole situation now, and he's like, "You know what? I gotta go." Now, it's not explicitly stated the reason why he's deciding to go back to King's Landing. I'm pretty sure most of us are speculating that he wants to kill Cersei or somehow see if he can stop her.
Tell me what y'all think first, and then I'll tell you what was said inside the episode.
I mean, okay. Look, he told Brienne that, "Hey, I've done all of this bad stuff just to get back to Cersei, and now I'm going back to her again." I truly hope, because I don't remember everything from the inside the episode. I watched it, but I don't remember everything from it. I truly hope that it's not a situation where it's literally just Jaime relapse into old Jaime, because that as far as dumb writing decisions, that would be the dumbest of all, because he knows that Bronn sent that Cersei sent Bronn to kill him. Bronn explicitly states, hey, this crossbow is for you, for the both of you. Cersei sent me to kill you guys. And so if it's a thing now where he's like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm just too addicted to Cersei, then, oh my God. I mean, I was already like, fuck this show, but if it's really like that, then really fuck this show.
Well, I know the gist of what was said on there, and I'm waiting to see. It could be they're just trying to throw people off.
I have one question about that, James. When have you ever seen Dan and Dave try and throw someone off in an interview?
Well, like I said, we'll see. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'll just say my interpretation of what I saw was, the lingering shot of Jaime at the foot of the bed while Bran was sleeping showed that he had conflict on his face, that he had hesitation of going back. And, knowing Jaime, the character, the mean things that he was saying to Brienne, the things that he said, the things that he's done, was a defense mechanism. That's just Jaime. That's his defense mechanism to, say, hey, look, this is, he's putting up his barriers right now. He's trying to protect her maybe, or doesn't want her to go down south after him, because he's going to do what he's going to do. But to me, it was just a defense mechanism, and that he does have conflict. Now, if the stuff that you're saying is true, then yeah, it'd be trash. It wouldn't be good. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. So that was my take on it.
Real quick, LT.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys clarified this for me, because I didn't know what was going on. I thought I didn't know if Jaime was going back to protect his sister or kill her, so I didn't know what was going on.
Well, we still don't know for sure, LT.
Yeah, so I'm kind of, I don't know. I have no idea, bro.
And
I mean, as someone who has not watched behind the episode, I read it as Jaime's going down to kill Cersei, and he's lying to Brienne to try to have her not follow him there, and he's like, she's too good for me. Like, that's too good. Like, I that's my burden. I need to do that. That's how I read that scene.
Essentially the same way. Me and you, the same way on that.
Yeah, but apparently I was wrong. So give it to me. Give me the brutal truth.
I read it the same way y'all did. Like, he was going down there to set Cersei straight.
Yeah.
And behind the episode, Dan and Dave, or Dave was Benioff, really, he kept talking about, well, he started getting conflicted, and in the end, Jaime is addicted to Cersei, so he decided to go back to Cersei.
I mean, that's still not full, complete omission.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Jaime. I think Jaime could change again, but I think Benioff saying that means that Jaime is going there to side with Cersei. But he could easily see, like, okay, this is what she's become. Look, she's fucking Euron Greyjoy now. You know what? Fuck this. I'm changing back. You might wish.
That is so trash.
I can see that happen.
I'm wailing.
Well, I mean, we'll see. The wording of what he said, I mean, it's not a complete, like, yeah, he could be addicted to.
Well, he said addicted, but he also said he chose her, though. He said he picked Cersei, so.
Well, we'll have to see how it plays out. Mm. I'll wait and see. Because he might have said that, and the writers might have talked him out of it. Might have said, "Hey, Davey boy, you're acting like a fool. Let's get this contract."
Right, but I have a feeling that Benioff has got like the Vince McMahon thing going on, where his writers can't talk about any of that shit.
We gotta get off of this. We gotta get off of this, man. All right, let's just go with. All right, so look.
What do you think about the two strategies? Let's talk about that before we get to the parlay. So you got. We got Cersei with the strategy of letting all the people in, and we got Dany with the strategy of, like, fuck it, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to go burn. Thoughts?
Thoughts? Okay, well, it's shocking that out of all of that, Cersei is the one that actually has battle strategy. Wow. So Cersei is the only one that has actually fairly sane battle strategy. Like we would have thought. Yeah, she does have a fairly good and sane battle strategy.
She does.
Yeah.
Really, the way to beat that strategy is to wait. But we all know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
listen, man. It's the battle of the Mad Queens. You know that simply that's
Arya to like actually no the best strategy would be to they have a faceless man. Send Arya to kill her. No, but seriously, they have a fucking faceless man, and who like.
Yeah, fucking.
Exactly. You have a faceless man. Send her to kill.
Perfect. I just thought the perfect strategy. You just wait out till Arya arrives. You have Arya's got to actually have encountered. I was gonna say have Arya put on Myrcella's face to get Cersei off guard, but she didn't. Just because what they established, they have to have actually have the face or whatever, or have been around that person or whatever.
Well,
or
yeah, and plus also I think that Myrcella was blown up with the sept.
Right. Well, no, I'm just saying though it would have taken Cersei off guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't even need to go.
No, she can
Arya can off any stupid guard. You know, like that. You know, Cersei would have not too far away from her, and you don't even need. That would be cinematic, but you can do something easier.
Yeah, it should have done. Yeah, that would have made sense.
Do you guys think Cersei knows that Littlefinger was killed at Winterfell, or do you guys think she probably doesn't know?
Does she care?
Well, my thing is look, that'd be the perfect tactic for Arya, because Arya could probably have Littlefinger's face and go in there and say, "My queen, I'm back to you," and then trick Cersei and because Cersei obviously trusts Littlefinger.
One thing though that is established is that they can't change the faceless men don't change sizes. You can't go from.
Why was she able to be Walder Frey? Oh no, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. She was Walder Frey.
No, she was a little girl.
She was Walder Frey. Remember at the she had all the Frey's strength. Yeah, she was Walder Frey.
Well, yeah, I guess then she could be a guard then.
Yeah, so I'm saying that would be the perfect way to get close to Cersei, but she'd have to have an escape plan because she would kill her and everybody would be around her. She'd have to run.
Well, she can escape, 20,000 wide, so she can escape anything.
All right, look, though, seriously, we need to wrap this up though, because it is actually, it's actually going on a little longer than expected right now.
And I'm getting very hungry. I'm sorry, guys, I am.
All
right, so parlay time. We have Daenerys, and I guess her personal guard.
Here's the exact line. He makes it going back.
Damn it, Jerry.
He makes the choice to go back to Cersei.
All right, good. All right. Damn it, I'm trying to wrap this up. All right, so look. We got Daenerys and her personal guard of Unsullied. Apparently Drogon in the background. Outside of some random ass gate in King's Landing that I've never seen before. I don't know where the hell I was supposed to be. And apparently it's not winter anymore because there's no fucking snow there. They got scorpions as far as the eye can see all around the damn place. And I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on here, because with all them damn scorpions and Daenerys and Drogon sitting right there, Cersei could have ended the war, but apparently she decided to have parley in good faith, even though we know that she was going to kill Missandei no matter what. So Qyburn and Tyrion have their little mini powwow. Tyrion is trying to appeal to Qyburn's better nature, not realizing Qyburn does not have a better nature whatsoever, and it's specifically pointed out when Tyrion is like, hey, all of those children are going to burn, and I don't want to hear that. And Qyburn is like, yeah, yeah, it's kind of a messed up sound to hear. And Tyrion was like, I don't want to hear that sound, man. Kyber was kind of like, yeah, you know, kids burn sometimes. This shit happens. All right. So Tyrion tries to appeal directly to Cersei. He's like, look, she's gonna come and burn your entire shit down. You, your kid, everybody. I know you don't love the people, but I know you love your children. You don't want your baby to die before your baby's even born. Do us this favor and step the fuck down. And you're like, oh, you would like a step down? Okay, I will show you what a step down looks like. And then off with Missandei's head because, you know, fuck it, right? Yeah, so, Jesus Christ. You know what, James, can you take this one away for us right now?
Okay. So, I mean, I feel like I was the only one talking about this, but I believe that it was kind of a plot hole. I don't know if anyone else agrees with it, but I feel like as soon as Tyrion walked up to Cersei, I feel like at that point, Dany and her army should have told Qyburn to stay there because you as leverage, you know, you one hand's life for another hand's life. Something happens to Tyrion, well, then you execute Qyburn right there. And then I felt like I never saw Qyburn go back inside into King's Landing. So I feel like as soon as Missandei got executed, I felt like they should have captured Qyburn for information. If he was right out there, like if he was standing out there, I feel like, I don't know if I'm the one that feels that way, but I feel like that was kind of a weird little plot hole. I'm sure no one else is even thinking about it, but
We are.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about. Well, no one else. I'm talking no one else in the. I didn't hear anyone else in the outer community talking about it, but I kind of had an issue with that. What else was I going to say? Oh, I did find it interesting. Euron, when Tyrion told Cersei about, do it for your child or whatever. Euron gave that look like, how the fuck you know about that? So I definitely think that it's possible that Euron's going to Valonqard up next episode and kill Dany as a result out of rage or jealousy or because
Kill Dany?
No, I meant Cersei. Because I'm tired. But yeah, kill Cersei out of the fact that she lied, the fact that was his child. So they made it a point to talk about the child to begin with. So with Euron and Cersei earlier in this episode. But yeah, like I said, that was my main issue. I personally don't have the same feelings towards Show Missandei as you do, Don Willie. But sucks to see her go. But yeah, I wasn't super outraged about it. I mean, I was super outraged by the fact that she was there in the first place without seeing how she got there. But seeing her die, I didn't really care about it. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Qyburn thing?
I mean, okay, I can see why it wouldn't have happened because, you kind of respect the parley, you're not supposed to kill either side of the messenger. You're supposed to let them return safe. However, Cersei was pointing their fucking arrows at Tyrion, but even though I guess she decided at the last minute, oh wait, it's a parley, you gotta respect. But I don't think you're supposed to kill prisoners at a parley either. So
yeah, what a stupid place of a parley. Because remember when there's a parley, was it?
Yeah, you have
season?
A parley at even spots where here,
yeah, that was not
like Bitterbridge. You have a parley, not at the castle gates.
Exactly, with arrows pointing at you. Yeah,
I mean, they already went to King's Landing before for a parley, so I guess they figured, hey, once was good. We just got ambushed, but yeah, we can have a parley right at the place where we can all be murdered. It's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I did not notice the twinkle in Euron's eyes. So I was like, when Tyrion said that, and because of the passage of time, we all live in the past. I'm like, okay, I don't know how much time is supposed to have passed in between episodes. So I thought, hey, maybe Cersei's showing. So that's why I wasn't sure, I had to go back on what you said, James. Mm-hmm. I'm like, maybe she's showing now. so that maybe everyone can see that she's pregnant. I wasn't sure.
It doesn't really appear that way, and if you go back and look at it, you definitely get Euron given a
but he's always like that's his like one facial expression. He's like crazy eye, like I'm not sure if it's.
I could see it now, JB. Like you said that Euron's gonna kill Cersei. Now I can see this happen, and I can see Euron's about to kill her. Then Jaime comes up and somehow kills Euron. Then he kills Cersei. Jaime kills Cersei because he's pissed off at her or whatever. But it's gonna be so stupid. All right, let me get to my thing. All right, remember I said earlier with the Rhaegal thing, this show showed balls. They did that right here with Missandei. I did not see this coming from 1,000 miles. I know it's stupid how they captured her or whatever, but it showed balls, and I fucking love it. This episode would be a fucking 0 if it wasn't for the Rhaegal thing and if it wasn't for this Missandei thing. They showed balls right here, and I do like that. And the whole Qyburn thing, I agree with JB. That was a plot hole, but the episode showed balls and Oscars and Emmys, right, Jerry?
Oh, okay. So of all the things, again, it's like it's rushed, and why didn't they show? It's like pacing, dudes, pacing. Like we could have had just one stupid talk between Varys and Tyrion, made more efficiently, and like rethink your pacing. Seriously, but Missandei. It was powerful. Like, what is going to have Dany turn Mad Queen? Exactly the death of Missandei. So, like, I don't know if I would, use the term show balls, but that is, I think, consistent in Dany's character arc. If you're going to have her go Mad Queen, that would be, the death of, her growing sense of isolation, paranoia, the death of her children, and the death of Missandei.
And would have been further also done in with prophecy and
prophecy that we didn't have, but we didn't have them. So like what we've got left. So I like that because that's at least one thing that gives a little bit of texture to Dany getting where they're trying to get her.
Cersei, I forgot to mention this. We mentioned this last night. But all these villains are looking like comic villains, like Euron on the ships, Cersei with her little look, the mountain. And then it's funny because Jerry even mentioned the mountain looks like that guy from what is that, Jerry?
From
yeah.
What do you call it? The Fat Albert.
Yeah, and they are looking like comic book villains. All the villains of the show. The Night King.
Yeah. All right. Oh God. Scores.
Well, hold on. Let me just say my last thing. Like, I already told you about the bullshit of the parlay, and I already made mention about Missandei. How the fuck did they even get her? I mean, I knew she was done once they got her, but I'm like, how dare you take the best booty out of the remaining booty out of Game of Thrones? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
I thought it made sense to get Dany to get where she needs to be. If they're making her Mad Queen, it makes sense.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Anne wanted to know. So Anne, this is what I think about why we're not going to see Clegane Ball, because maybe we still do, but I think Grey Worm's going to attack the mountain first, and the mountain's going to kill him, and then Clegane, and then the house. So I apologize. We will see Clegane Ball, but I think Grey Worm will get first crack at the mountain, and he'll die.
Well, look, here's a thing that I think could happen, because a lot of people are, like, remember, the mountain is still on Arya's list. Here's the thing I think could happen. I hope doesn't happen. Somehow on the way to King's Landing, or when they get to King's Landing, The Hound and Arya are attacked. The Hound is wounded again. We see it cut away, and then we see the Mountain versus the Hound, and then at the end of the damn battle, the Hound takes. We see the face come off, and it's been Arya the entire time. The Hound wound up dying of his wounds. I can see them doing that shit, and that would
That would be
really,
some bullshit.
really piss me off.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think we'll just get standard Clegane Bowl, but we'll
That's
see.
what I think too. Well, Grey Worm's got to get involved somehow. I don't know how, though. Maybe you get killed off first.
I don't know, but all right, yeah, scores. Anne, start with you.
Okay, so as you know, the French grading system different from the American grade system. But to go back, I will go back to my original statement. That was.
Can I ask you a question, Anne? Regarding the French grade system,
yeah.
What is considered average in that system?
Well, that's out of so it's out of 10, so that's 5 out of 10. You pass.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we don't grade really nicely, so it's not that bad to have pass is 5 out of 10. So and because it is it's the best episode that I have seen in a long time. Since season 4. Probably I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah.
All right, James.
Okay, 6 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, I'm 6 out of 10. But I don't know, because your inside the episode thing really pissed me off. So I
about Jaime. Well,
yeah, but that was before I knew that. I was gonna give it a little bit more, and that really pissed me off. But that's not the episode.
That he's regressed back to what he was.
Oh my god! But that's not the episode itself.
Well, you're on mute, James.
Yeah, I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna still wait to. That's not gonna factor into my score because it's not happened yet. I'm still going on the belief of what I believe is gonna happen. In terms of the things, like I said, I liked the small character things. I liked the feast, Tormund. I liked all that stuff. I liked most of the stuff in the beginning. It was when the end, towards the end, it started falling apart for me. Like I said, the three main things: Ghost should have got a better send off. Rhaegal should have been talked about more by everybody, and I'm going to view the Qyburn thing as kind of a thing that bugged me a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. That's whatever. I can forgive that. But so I'd have to give it I guess I'm going to give it a 5 because I gave the Long Night a 4, I believe. I think this was better than the last episode. But it's, I didn't fully enjoy it either. So it's a 5. It was watchable. I was entertained. Time went by quicker than it would be if I wasn't watching it. So it's a 5.
All right, LT.
I wanted to give this episode a 0, but every time I try to do it, the Hound barking at the girl just makes it not a 0. Now, the ghost thing.
There's no Barrick Dondarrion in LT. So you
no, there's no Barrick Dondarrion. No, I know. There's no automatic 10. The Prince of Dorne thing and the ghost thing made this a -5 together. But I gotta give it 5 points for the Missandei thing and 2 points for the Rhaegal scene. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Wait, you're mathing that up. You said -5 for.
Wait. I'm giving it 5 points for the for the Rhaegal scene and 5 points for Missandei's death.
Okay,
so that makes it a 5. That makes
so -5. Okay, there you go. Yeah. You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
Jerry.
This episode, anything good about this episode was all paired with some bullshit. Like it was all on some kind of bullshit the whole time. Like I can't think of any scene that was just good without some bullshit in it. Well, maybe the funeral scene. Even that was just okay. Anything special. So I don't know. It gives us the 4 out of 10 because it was all. Well, no, let's go with a 3 out of 10.
All right, people in the chat, let's get your rating.
All right. So look, I know I said before that I would give the season a 1 out of 10 if they killed off Missandei. Look, I'll be honest with you. They actually did the death good. It was earned or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I don't know if it was earned after all that how they got her, but
I mean, well, look, they I don't know if you guys
they made a reason for her death, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It wasn't just 100% bullshit the way she died.
But it was paired with some bullshit.
Yeah. So with all the other, kind of nonsensical stuff, the relapse of Jaime, fucking, Euron shows up out of nowhere where they should have been able to spot him, oh my god. Yeah, fuck it, man. I go 5 out of 10. Fuck it. I'll give it a 5. Jeff Thomas gave it a 9 out of 10. Which I'm surprised about.
I mean, and
gave it a 6.5. The Dragon, JD, gave it a 7. DJ gives it a 6. No other scores? Nah.
I mean, I really wish, I try to go watch every episode and I want to give it, 9 or 10, but I keep it real. I mean, but, hopefully they can bring it home. We'll see.
I mean,
they're going to bring it home.
Yeah, look, I'm trying not to be too down on this, but some of the fucking decisions is just like, yeah, whatevs. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is Hate Watch. So anybody who's sitting up here thinking, oh man, you got, look, it says it in the fucking thumbnail. Hate Watch. Okay? Yeah, so look, we will be back next week, of course, for episode 5. And honestly speaking, I really, really wish that they would stop with the whole thing of not giving the fucking titles. Alright? If it wasn't for the fact that that Linda from Westeros.org does her review and already has the title, I don't think I would ever know what the damn titles of the episodes were. Because even on HBO Go, it doesn't have the episode title for like 2 days. So, alright, yeah, well, we will be back next Monday. Still trying to get the
won't be back.
cracking.
Sorry, Don, I was trying to tell everybody I might not be back next week, and I have to work Sunday, and I don't care because this show is not what it used to be, and I don't feel about this show the same way as I used to. I will miss being here with my friends, but if I'm not here next Monday, whatever. But I hope I am, guys.
Yeah, so 2 more episodes left before Thrones is donezo.
Good riddance. I wish this thing would have been canceled before the season started.
Well, we already know that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, yeah, wow, because we went over 2.5 hours as it is. Yeah, we're going to wrap this up finally. Look, yeah, you guys already know the deal. And thank you for being here. Everybody in the chat who was with us tonight, everybody who will watch this later on, let the hate flow through you. All right? Yeah, so for James, Jerry, LT, and my name is Don Willie. We are the Hype Swatch. We are saying Valo de Harris. We will see you next week for this bullshit once again. Let the hate flow through you. Salt reigns supreme. All that good stuff. And we are out.
Are they going to name the last episode A Dream of Spring?
They probably. I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know what the hell they're going to name it, but at this point, who actually even fucking cares, right? Fuck.